All right, the recording is started. Welcome to 3 hidden mistakes that keep you diseased and what to do about it. My name is Nirankar. It is my deepest pleasure to share with you this brand new content that has been stirring inside of me, wanting to come up and out. And I'm grateful to be here with you for this next hour. I'd like to take a minute to center ourselves, check in with your body, your space. Is everything turned off that might interfere with you absorbing what I have to offer? So I welcome you to close your eyes if that feels right. Close your eyes, soften your belly. Allow your breath to be deep and full. Welcome. We're taking some time to center. Knowing deep, deep down that you are here at the right place in the right time to receive whatever it is you're ready to receive from this space together. I trust that what will unfold is of divine purpose, divine support to you on your journey, to us as a collective. I trust in the softening of our body temple to receive. Great. I'm gonna be letting women in as we go. It's so wonderful to be with you all, see you all. I don't get to, usually there are people, women who have their camera turned off, so it's nice to see everybody. Some of you know me well, and others of you are just meeting me for the first time. So I'd like to share a little bit about myself and what we're going to uncover today. Looks like we have 2 more women in the waiting room. Okay. So again, my name is Nirankar. I guide earth-centered women with health challenges who are ready to reclaim their power and step into your vitality and joy. It is such a pleasure to have the opportunity to be in front of you, to share what feels like my life's impulse, my life's purpose, my mission, to really help uplift you wherever you are on your health journey, wherever you are on your life journey. I was struck today by some revelations I'm having around limits and the fact that my name, Nirankar, many of you may or may not know, it is from the Gurmukhi language. I am choosing to use it at the moment, and I'm blessed with having it teach me aspects of my life. And one is this sense of limitlessness. So Nirankar itself is that which sees God in all, that is without limits. And so it is truly my purpose to help you let go of the limits outside of yourself and begin to really feel the limitlessness of all of you inside. That is, comes through in the idea, the use of the word divine as Nirankar. So I wanted to start by sharing that. We're here together because I want you to be your strongest, healthiest, best self, contributing self. And the planet needs us, frankly. And this new world that is ushering in is changing very quickly. And we as women hold the secrets to the new world. And in that, it's time for us to discover the secrets within us that help us help you live your best life. And so these 3 mistakes that I'm going to outline today have come from not only about 25 years of working in the healthcare industry, but also over the past year working one-on-one with women and in small groups, and beginning to really feel into what we as women are working with and what I've experienced in my own life. So you're in the right place if you are ready to be more at peace with who you are. You're in the right place if your health challenges have created an opportunity. You're seeing it as an opportunity to grow and expand and live into who you really are. You're in the right place if you're sometimes doubting, that you're on the right path, that you have what it takes, that you feel worthy of love, of success, of health, of whatever you fill in the blank for yourself. You're definitely in the right place if you're thinking your health challenges are bigger than a bigger mountain than you can climb. And you're in the right place if you're not necessarily having big health challenges, but you're not living the best life that you're designed to live. So if any of that resonates, then settle in, and I'm glad you're here. You may hear me make those sounds. It's part of what calms my system, and sound vibration is a big part of how I got here on my journey. I really want to share, I want to share some pieces of my own journey that really have informed these 3 hidden mistakes, really helped me understand them for myself and experience them enough that I can speak to them. And I also want to, so I'm going to share a bit about myself. I'm going to go into those 3 hidden mistakes, and then there'll be time for you to ask questions, and I'll also share my next 2 series and make sure that you know when they are and that they're on your calendar and you can access those in this same way. So I know that your time is valuable. I'm going to get right to it. Please, I won't have a chance to look at the chat until the end, but if something comes up and you want to pop it in there, it will be stored and I can go back. But write down your questions and hold them off to the end if you can. So this piece of my own journey that really, I would say, brought me to my knees at that point in my life, but I didn't have any awareness that that this experience brought me to my knees. I was young. I was 20 between the age of about 23 and 27. I had just finished college. I had a job in a hospital in upstate New York, pretty close to the Canadian border, right out of school. And at that time, I was working full time, newly out of school. My highest ambition was to acquire outdoor equipment. Honestly, I wanted to hike and ski and camp as much as I possibly could. I was living right outside the Adirondacks, right outside the Green Mountains of Vermont. It's like this perfect, beautiful place. But at the time, I also went back to graduate school for an advanced degree in healthcare administration over the pond, so over in Vermont. I was going to school in St. Michael's, and I was also doing some long distance running and triathlons. I was so busy. I mean, I was young. I was 23. The period of time I'm talking about is 23 to about 27. And at 27, what happened during that time, so just, to share a bit about it, I went to school for exercise physiology. So it was all kind of, it made sense to me. And it was certainly a major part of my journey. But I was really busy, pushing really hard, and I used every second of my time to get something done, to either take a long distance run or get on my bike and do 50 miles or do some schoolwork. So at 27, I did begin to develop a hernia, a right inguinal hernia. And so at the time, it pretty much flattened me. I couldn't do all these things I was doing. School was like really frustrating because I wasn't, well, that's maybe for another seminar, but the hernia created this, I was like, wait a minute, I can't run. I can't, it took me a while to get back on my bike and hike and everything, but my body really stopped me in my tracks. And I had a hernia repair. My mom came to visit, and the hernia was repaired, but in that time, I realized that I was running from something. I didn't have the awareness at that age of that I was running from something, but now looking back on it, it was pretty intense. I was running from something. And so I stopped doing this long distance stuff, stopped going to school actually, and that's about the time when I discovered yoga. But there are some really clear messages from that experience that have informed the hidden mistakes that I have to share with you today. And so I'll share what the messages have been for me from that period of time in my life. And then we'll go into the hidden mistakes. So I was doing and accomplishing and pushing myself for sure. And that was my way, okay, here's the big thing, of proving myself. So I was running from something, but in hindsight, what I was actually doing is trying to prove to others my self-worth, that I was, all of these things. I was smart enough. I could do whatever I set myself into doing. And I was trying really hard to make sure that people saw that what I could do and what I was made of. And ultimately, I was unconsciously filling a void, feeling the effects of a deeper wound that I didn't yet have the awareness of. I'm not saying that all ultra marathoners or long distance runners or triathletes or people that go to grad school and work full time are trying to prove something. That's not my point. But looking back on that period of time in my life, I know it was informative for moving into what we're going to talk about today. So as I said, I was avoiding something. I felt like I was running from something. And then my body knew exactly what to do. Like, really, my body knew exactly what I needed in the moment to switch things up. And I think at the time I wanted to feel there was this paradox of wanting to feel big and expansive and worthy, and really the sensation of feeling small and limited and not quite sure how to fit in. So that period of time in my life, as I said, I was working in a hospital with cardiac rehab patients and doing graded exercise tests with heart disease and lung patients. And that's what I went to school for. It all felt very clear to me. And so I want to go into how that experience informs these 3 hidden mistakes. So as I said, it's these 3 hidden mistakes that keep you diseased and what to do about them. So hidden mistake number 1 is that you're trying to prove yourself, your worth. You're seeking that when we seek wisdom outside of ourselves and approval from those outside of ourselves, be it parents, fathers, mothers, friends, bosses, whoever it is, when doctors, when we continue to seek this information and this approval outside of ourselves, then we are contributing to this sensation of not worthy, not deserved. And so I feel like that really is one of those things as women that contribute to our dis-ease, because then when we're constantly seeking for someone else's approval, then it's very difficult for us to hear the voices inside of ourselves, what's true for us, what we need to do for ourselves, how we need to limit that those outside voices and begin to really search for what is speaking loudly within us. So that external advice begins to take precedent. So the advice from family members, the advice from doctors, the advice from whoever is influential, the news, the news, our systems. And so when that continues to take precedent, then we don't make choices that are really right for us. So I believe that's hidden mistake number 1, that you're seeking to prove yourself, to prove your worth, to look for the approval and the okay outside of yourself. So what to do about it? I think that one thing, these will all have a common thread. And so there are some pieces of what to do about it that I'll wait till the end. But beginning to ask the question, what am I searching for? And, what do I do? What do I do, or what do I need, from this external? And so beginning to limit those external voices until you feel really clear. And what does it take to feel really clear? Well, this is kind of it takes something different for each one of you. But in my experience, one thing it takes is for you to be quiet and still and allow yourself to really begin to feel what your body is telling you. And so that's you'll see these threads all the way through this talk, that beginning to slow down, feel the internal messages within yourself. And so the other piece of this is, do you trust your own wisdom? Do you trust yourself? Just observing. So I'm going to share one of those threads, is this ability of observation, this keen ability to self-observe. This is really something I repeat over and over again in all of my work with women and try and foster, is this ability to watch yourself like a third party, like a movie screen, watching what you seek from others, just being able to notice, do I trust that impulse that I'm having within? So that, and if just quick check-in, is all of this landing with you? You're picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, great. That helps to know that. So hidden secret, are you ready? Yeah, hidden secret number 2. Okay. You focus on what is wrong. So we spend our time focusing on what sucks, really, frankly. Like what out there, all around us, within us, everything, what needs to change. And as soon as we give our energy over and over and over again to what you want to change, then you're actually giving away your energy, and that's what's growing. So these are kind of spiritual and energetic concepts that you can take or leave, but I really feel like this is hidden secret number 2. Is our tendency to focus over and over and over again on what's wrong about our loved ones, what's wrong about our condition, what's wrong about our life, what's wrong about the world, what's wrong about our, leadership, what's wrong about the environment. And when we make the shift to consciously, this is a conscious shift that has to happen inside. Your mind needs to become your biggest ally, your source of being able to shift. So when we stop giving energy and attention to what we want to change, and instead shift our attention to what we know is right and what we want to feel like when we have this, or what we want it to feel like in the world when we have leadership that feels right. So we begin to focus on what we can do in our life, on what's right, on our responsibility, on our choices. Then that's what we begin to give energy to, and that's what grows. And so hidden mistake number 2, again, we focus on what is wrong. Over and over and over again, what's wrong? And so what to do about it? One big way, I'll return to my first 2 of what I've already shared. 1, begin to observe what comes out of your mouth, what you focus on, what you begin to critique in others, and observe without judgment, with complete compassion. And then secondly, begin to feel in your body what it feels like to focus on what is right. Like, just take a minute and, pick something that is wrong, pick something you want to change, give some attention to it, and then shift, move around, and then find the sensation, the feeling, what is right, what is actually right. And when you tune into your body, guaranteed one will feel better than the other, just in your gut. And there's a physiological reason for that, right? Physiologically, the cascade of hormones and things that happen within you when you're focusing on what is right is a whole lot healthier to your immune system, to your state of mind, than it is to begin focusing on what is wrong. I have no scientific basis for that, but I bet there are studies out there that we can find. And maybe that's my task for my next free seminar series. Okay, so here's another way to what to do about it. Some of you may have already started a gratitude journal, but I can't speak more highly of that practice. And for many women, it seems a little trivial at first. Like, well, how many times can I say that I'm happy for the sun, or, whatever it is? But really, dive deeply into this practice of gratitude, and not just in your head. I had one woman tell me one time, well, I'm grateful every day. I don't need to write it down. But I can tell you that the process of thinking and then writing it down using your hand reinforces this idea of being grateful and focusing on what you're grateful for. And it helps that grow. It helps that focus. And when there's someone or something in your life that you begin unpacking and finding the good in, guaranteed your entire your view of that person and that situation will begin to change and shift. I got news to tell you that not all women want to hear, but nothing has to change outside. Nothing. Everything has to change inside in order for things to change outside. But that's not what you can depend on. The only thing you can depend on is you. So that is hidden secret number 2. Focus on what is right. All right, still with me? Still good? Yeah, okay. All right, so the last and final hidden mistake that I believe keeps us in dis-ease is to avoid our feelings and emotions. This one is not so easy. But the more and more we can understand them being our emotions and feelings, the more we can allow them, move through them, uncover them, reveal them, unpack them, let them go, then the healthier we will be. And I see our emotions and our feelings as allies in our health journey. It's just plain and simple for me that in order for us to move through whatever is happening currently, sometimes we need to look back, and then it doesn't have the charge, the power over us. And so in my work with women, I really I create very safe space for those emotions and feelings to have a say, have a voice, have some air time, have a chance to release. And it's an essential part of staying getting healthy, I would say, and staying more in balanced, more ease in your life. I've been really loving this word, ease. Those of you who were in my yoga class yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah. It's just coming up a lot. And you might say, well, you know, touching base on old emotions that I've been shoving and storing in my body, there's nothing easeful about uncovering those. I get it. It's not, there is nothing easeful, except that when you feel the difference between the before and after, you know, this is where I was supposed to go. This is ease. This is a lighter, more joyful, more vital way of living my life. Without them, I've been carrying them. It's like a overstuffed backpack. And letting them go gives you more energy, gives you more lightness, gives you the opportunity to experience joy, experience pleasure, and know that that they served you. Those emotions, those feelings, they had a purpose. They still have a purpose, and they'll have a purpose until you've learned and are aware of what they were ready to teach you, and then you let them go. And that's what I want for each one of you, for sure. So third hidden mistake is to avoid your feelings and emotions. And I know it's not all that common or acceptable for us to be going around sharing and experiencing our emotions openly and, you know, out in the world. But there are safe places to do this, and that's what you should seek. And so what to do about them, I think I've gone into a little bit, but again, feeling them in your body, slowing down, finding that slowing down in order to let them rise, actually using your memory, using your experiences to bring them back in order to let them go, like consciously with awareness, like I'm going to, in a safe space with people that I know I can trust, I'm going to revisit this and I'm going to let this go over and over and over again, as long as it takes until it's gone. And so I lost my train of thought slightly, but okay, so listening to your body, finding stillness, those are kind of threads through all the hidden mistakes. And then for this one specifically, your breath and movement and then integration are essential. So the emotions and the feelings that we haven't worked through become stuck. And you can experience your stuck energy and, you know, at any time. But within your capacity, whatever it is, in whatever health challenge you're having or wherever you are in your journey, all of us can breathe. And all of us can breathe even more deeply, accessing deeper places in ourselves and using breathing exercises, because there are two things about breath. It can happen unconsciously or it can happen consciously. And you can use it consciously to access emotions and feelings. But then you have to move them. So moving them can be done through dance, through yoga, through exercise, through, moving. I love dance. It's actually one of my favorite new things because, and many of you here know this about me, I, in my own life, are beginning to rely more heavily on the divine feminine. And I find dance to be a perfect expression of that desire within me to feel the presence of the divine feminine. And that's a little bit off topic, but it is a way to move and integrate your emotions. And you'll feel the difference in your body. I am all about your experience of it. And so I'm not ever here to tell you that this is how it is. I want you to experience it and feel it for yourself. So that was hidden secret number 3, that are by releasing and allowing your emotions, you will begin to experience changes in your balance, in your ease, in your out of balance or dis-ease. And so these, I want to move now as a summary to those aspects that I named of what you can do about it. It's mostly as a summary, but I want to loop back to this idea of limitlessness and my name, Nirankar. My parents gave me the name Dana, and I used that name for many, many years. And, but it's really time we've come through a period of time, I should say, where recognizing the limits outside of ourselves was useful. No, we limit our exposure to the sun. We wouldn't, we wear clothes. I don't know why this is coming up, but we wear clothes outside. Like these are rules and like these are structures and systems outside of us that have served us, right? So they have served us in our evolution as humans. And the limits, the rules, and the time of that imposition on us is beginning to crumble. And what's emerging is this self-governance, is this turning of limitations to limiting the external pressures and influences outside of ourselves, particularly as women. So we're now shifting out of those external limits, and we're beginning to limit the voices and the people and the systems and all that is trying to enforce things upon us. And we're limiting that so that we can feel our limitlessness. Just, us. individually. And so that loops back to this most recent fascination with my own name, and how the world is changing, and how we as women, it's time to really step up and feel our own responsibility and the pressures of what's happening, and how we, by healing ourselves, by being truly who we are meant to be, and limiting the noise outside of us that tells us we should be something else, or we should listen to someone else, or we should act this way, or we should know that those times are actually over and crumbling, and we can be stronger without them. And we create these safe spaces as women so that we can begin to really feel what that means for each of us individually, what we're each trying to heal or healing effectively, what we're each ready to give the earth, how we're ready to serve. And so that completes the 3 hidden mistakes that I wanted to share and what to do about them. And I want to make sure that each of you know about my next 2 series coming up. So on October 12th, it's a Monday, same time, 12:30, I'm going to be talking about the 3 foundations to keep you solid and on track towards your goals, your health goals specifically, but it will work for all goals. Some of you who know me well will probably intuit what those 3 foundations are, but those of you who don't know me so well, I look forward to sharing them in a whole new light and hearing your response to them. So that's October 12th, Monday, same time, same Zoom channel. 3 foundations to keep you solid and on track towards your health goals. And then the third in the 3rd part series is on Monday, October 19th, same time, same Zoom channel. The link will work for all 3. And that one is about the 8 secrets to transform your health and step into your vitality and joy. And again, for those women who are either in the current 8-week course or have taken my 8-week course, you know these 8 secrets, but please, I'd love to have your energy there. That kind of brings me to, I am teaching another 8-week course that begins on October 23rd. That is through the Kirtan and Kundalini platform. And I will be able to answer questions about that later. So I'm excited to start that. That will be class number 4 for me. And it's a fantastic journey, really fun. So I'd love to open up the space for any questions or thoughts on anything I've covered or anything I haven't covered that came to mind as a question. All right, bye-bye, Haripriya. Yes, Judith.
Yes, so I have a question about how 1 and 3 work together, because I've done a lot of working with my emotions and trying to release them. What I heard today that I think I've been missing is the movement and the breath with them. But how, I think I've spent so much time with the emotions, it loops into focusing on the negative. So I just wanted to ask you how those 2 work together.
Yeah, so let me see if I can articulate. Did 1 being trying to prove yourself, or?
Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe I have the number wrong, but maybe it was 2. Focusing on what stinks.
Yeah, and you're feeling 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Great. So now I think I understand your question. So by focusing on, it's interesting. So if I understand your question correctly, the relationship between the two, well, what I always try and do, and I'm open to doing this in this moment, is what do you think your relationship in your life is between those two? Because often, I might have an idea of what it might be to focus on what is wrong, and then how it loops into the feelings and the emotions. But if you're interested in sharing with everyone else, I'd love to hear what comes up for you, and then we can talk even more about it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I think, my experience of my childhood is that it was really difficult, and I've just used different modalities and spent a lot of time trying to process those stored feelings. But I really resonate with what you said, that I'm focusing so much on what is wrong. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So one idea I have is that you begin, what I have experienced in my own life, even recently, is I began to thank the situation or the person, in this case, it was my father, began to thank him, and honestly thank him for the message, because of what it was helping unfold in my life. And originally when it happened, it didn't feel like a positive thing. But I began to shift and focus on what was right about how it then unfolded my life. And so that's taking feelings and emotions from a specific, it could be fairly traumatic, an experience in your childhood, and beginning, when you're ready and when it's safe and when you can do it with compassion and deep understanding, is beginning to unpack what was actually right. How did it serve me? What qualities do I have now that I wouldn't have had without that experience? And that's how I think those two work together, based on what you said.
So within kind of reframing how you look at it, you still go back and release the feelings.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments, thoughts? Christina?
This is my mom here today with me.
Hi, so nice to meet you.
You. So thank you so much today for everything. So much of what you said was like resonating, and like the first time you used the word shift, I just like automatically like embodied that and like felt like some release. And when I did the 8-week course, a lot of what I was dealing with was like letting go of the external seeking of approval kind of thing, and really turning it back around to like get that from inside. And so like hearing you today, like I was literally talking to my therapist about that this morning. And so then like hearing today from your perspective is just like, it's just like such great encouragement to like keep doing that more, because that is one of the limits. Like that's totally a limit, like looking for that external, because like we know that we're more limitless inside. So I just wanted to like bring that up and share that and say thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, Christina took round 2 of my 8-week course. Yeah, nice to see you. Nice to meet your mom.
Yeah, and the course was awesome.
Anybody else? All right. Well, if no one else has a question or a thought or a comment, please join me on October 12th and again on October 9th.
Thank you so much, Nirankar.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, you can hear me? I was doing talk to text, but I have to go to an appointment, but I'll see you next time.
What's your name?
I'm Sherry Glover. I talked to you about doing flyers a long time ago before the ashram kind of shut down.
Oh, yes. Hi, Sherry.
Yeah, it was so good to see you and hear all your great words. We'll connect again. Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
All right, women and man. Be well. Anybody else? Vanita, yes, did you have something?
No, I just wanted to say, yes, what you said about, releasing, and after many years, I figured that out slowly. Like, all the time we do things to seek other people's approval. So, yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Thank you. This was really nice. Thank you.
And it's a process, isn't it? It doesn't just happen and it's done.
Right.
It's not like a linear path, right?
No.
No, it's over and over and over again, and you get better at it. Things
True.
move faster, and you
Yes.
understand when you're out of balance quicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, is it Tatiana?
Yes, hello. I just want to say thank you, and I want to compliment your lecture today, because I think that you really represented the most important things in health, and also the things I've been studying a lot of things also for many years and practicing and all these things. And I felt when I listened to you that you really gathered those most effective things for circling good health and starting the process. So I just want to compliment you and say thank you for doing this. It's really wonderful to be here.
Thank you for speaking up, and I receive and grateful to hear how it landed for you.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. So anybody else have any thoughts or comments about what I shared? Welcome, Sylvie. I think that you might be expected to keep going, but we're all finished, so there might be a time situation. Yeah, I'll send out the recording. Yeah. All right, beautiful women. Any other last minute thoughts or questions? Great. I'll see you on Monday, October 12th. Stay in touch. Yeah. Bye-bye.